You smile and seat yourself on a nearby chair. Those large doors will be loud when they open. With nothing else to do, you place your hands on your knees, grounding yourself. The weight of your fingers and the sensation of being touched by your invisible hand. A deep breath in through your nose, and your heart rate slows. Your worries, your fears, plants and the sounds of people singing to them are far away. You are your body and your breath, your heart rate slowing with the gentle swell of your chest and release from your lungs. Over and over you count. 1, a deep breath in. 2, a long breath out. You savor a long inhale, then release it through your mouth, the air coming out in a controlled release. The sounds of the castle, the movement of servants, and the shifting of guards become nothing to your awareness. Being invisible is freeing, you realize. You often have to school your expression, be mindful of what you project and what people will think. It's no longer a concern. You're a specter, drifting through the world without notice, with no criticisms to fall upon your shoulders. It's a vacation from social obligation, and your next exhale is long with relief. When the sun has risen higher in the sky, the door to the war room opens. An important-looking diplomat leaves, his arms bursting with brown paper scrolls. You slip in, quieter than a shadow. The room is dominated by a large circular table, with legs the size of tree trunks. It's covered in maps, and you creep closer, excited like a child on Christmas morning. The maps are beautiful, done in ink with painstaking care. The lines on the mountain ranges look finer and thinner than the hair on your head. On the map, you chart your home, the castle you came from, and the castle which you now occupy, as well as the positions of their troops. Scouts reported forces gathering at the border, but you don't see them represented on the map. Curious. You reach out and touch one of the figures that represents a unit of archers. It's a miniature done in gold. With so much detail, you can see the fletching on the arrows. The window has heavy curtains drawn, but even in the dim light, the figure shines. There are horses, men, merchants, and swords, laid out like chess pieces, standing at attention for the hand of someone wise to move them. You realize their positions are very defensive, focused on protecting what they have rather than taking from others. Interesting. You are not at war, but the possibility looms, hence your presence here. Committing the map to memory, you circle the rest of the room. There are towering bookshelves filled with volumes on Roleplay, letter openers, daggers, and statues of lions protecting the towering blue velvet curtains with no drawstring. Divans are spread out with embroidered throw pillows, and when you move closer, you see they are decorated with family crests. You think they were stitched by loved ones who know their partners spend sleepless nights in this very room, craving reminders of home and what they're plotting for. fighting for. Something in your chest aches, and you look away. It's a foolish sentiment, you tell yourself. Picking a book up off the shelf, you read behind the curtain, soaking up the dying sunlight. The feeling of warmth on your back and the smell of old books in your nose is a welcome distraction. The tome is absorbing and informative. The author has a humorous voice and explains things in a clear and concise way. It's a bit vain, but you feel smarter for having read only a few pages. But when the door creaks open again, you set the book down, along with your daydream of becoming a brilliant tactician. It was nice to feel like one for a while. You slip out quickly, your back brushing against the door as it closes. Your steps outside the war room are aimless and wandering. The castle is laid out very differently from the one you work in, and your brain seems to delight in the differences. A hallway where there shouldn't be one, a tower that leads to crates of spices and not weapons, flower gardens that are visible from all the windows, and everywhere is blue banners with the castle crest. You go up and down, between floors, cataloging them each, until you come upon the bedrooms on the topmost floor. There's stately rooms in every size, with massive closets and 4-poster beds big enough to sleep 3. It's curious, and you make note of the empty ones as you walk. The castle is not entertaining any dignitaries right now, it seems. At least not any important ones. You want to find the ruler of this castle, you realize as you brush your hands against another duvet cover, feeling a bit like Goldilocks, searching for the perfect bed. Looking out a nearby window, you see the sun is still high in the sky. Perhaps court is still in session. Heading back to the first floor, you decide to check. The court hall is massive and sprawling, filled with an eager crowd of gentry and minor nobles, all formed in an orderly line. A seneschal calls them forward, and you hear their pleas as you make your way through the crowd, careful not to be too overt when you brush against someone. At the throne, a beautiful, clear voice passes judgment. You're grateful for your invisibility because your mouth hangs open at the sight of them. The ruler you've been sent to spy upon. They're stunning, even at this distance. Seated upon a comfortable throne, their hands casually rest against the tops of the armrests. Their blonde hair makes them glow in the sunlight. When they speak, goosebumps raise on your arms. Part of you is delighted, then mortified at the pull you feel. You walk towards the throne, like your body is telling you to approach and watch. To take in the tilt of their chin and the set of their shoulders. You want to hear more of that voice. The way their cape spills onto the floor from behind their throne. The color of their eyes. You want it all. They smell like smoky incense and pressed silk. And it's not until you've walked up to the dais that you've come back to your senses. You're closer than any petitioner would dare. How many people see them like this, you wonder? with fine baby hairs visible under their heavy golden crown. You drink in the color of their iris, the beautiful, vibrant blue of them speaking to something deep within you. You want to paint those eyes. You've never wanted to paint anything before. A silver bell is rung from one of the court attendants, and there's a collective groan waiting from everyone left to be heard. The courtiers, nobles, and gentry begin to file out, and the ruler sighs with relief once the room is empty. They rise from their throne, and you try to follow, entranced. But the hallway they disappear into is too narrow. They're surrounded by advisors in matching, gleaming cloaks, giving you no space to follow without detection. Your eye follows them until the last swish of their cape disappears down the hall. And your heart sighs with the loss of them, dejected, but also confused and upset with yourself. You wander back through the castle, looking for the library. You doubt there will be any more activity worth noting in the castle now that court has been adjourned. The library is on the same floor, and you see it is done with warm, rich reds, a change from the blue that's prevalent elsewhere throughout the castle. Gold phoenix statues keep guard at the end of each row of bookshelves. After a moment, you realize the phoenixes guarding the non-fiction section have their wings tucked in, and the fiction section has them spread. You come across a shelf dwarfed by the biggest statues you've seen. They're the size of your torso and actively in flight. The shelf displays a row of blank spines. The books are different sizes, and they've been arranged by color. Red at the top and moving into orange, yellow, green. It's a soft rainbow, and you find your eyes raking over the satisfying wave of color. Curious, you reach for a yellow book at your eye level. It's a story about friends making shelter in the snow and starting their own pretend kingdom. You pull down another, a tome done in vibrant green leather. It's about a turtle who learns the lessons of friendship. There's one the color of blueberries, and you run your fingers down along the spine before you pull it out and flip through the pages. It's a story about a perfume maker who tries to recreate the scent of someone they loved and lost. You tuck the book into your coat, keeping it out of sight. Then you climb up the stairs of the nearest tower. The sounds of the castle grow dimmer with each step, slowly going up and up. Birds chirp through narrow windows, and boxes of old bedding wait at the top. The fabric is soft and warmed by the sun, and you lay down with your book. When was the last time you read for pleasure, you wonder? You focus on the present, enjoying the feel of being surrounded by blankets, the leather of the book in your hands, the sounds of bluebirds outside, and the warmth of the sun on your face. You do all you can to forget about the ruler for now. All of it gently coaxes you into a deep, restful nap. When your eyes open again, the sun is much lower, and the light in your little tower is dim. You stretch, your limbs popping gratifyingly. After rolling your neck, you stand slowly, feeling the vertebrae of your spine stack on top of each other. You stretch again once you're upright, feeling renewed and quietly energized by the golden glow of the setting sun. Taking the stairs down 2 at a time, you go back to the floor with the bedrooms. All the doors are ajar as the servants prepare quarters for the evening, and you spot a gleaming silver tray filled with roast chicken, fresh purple grapes, wine, and a cheese platter. There's a tray of chocolate-covered almonds underneath, garnished with sugared rose petals. You slip inside while a servant is lighting the hearth. The servant wheels in the tray of food, then closes the door behind them as they leave. You sit on the freshly made bed and then you gorge yourself. The chicken is tender and juicy, dribbling down your chin. Climbing the tower stairs has left you famished. You realize as your fingers scratch the bottom of the deep wooden bowl once filled with fresh grapes. You lay back on the bed, eating chocolate-covered almonds and considering your next move. According to your mission, and not your heart, you should see the ruler of the castle again. After placing your dishes on the tray, you slip out the room and head for the biggest tower. You pass more paintings, including portraits of rulers past. They all have the same golden hair, and you wonder at the texture of it. What kind of person is the ruler? Do they like the color blue? Or were those choices made long ago by a distant relative? You realize these are questions you won't be able to ask. Your feet carry you forward while you wander, and soon the tower entryway looms before you. In the highest room of the tallest tower, of course. Your legs quietly protest at the sight of the stairs, but you press on. You breathe with each step, watching the gradient of the sky shift from golds and reds to soft purple, and then eventually blackest night dotted with sparkling stars. The torchlight warms you, casting the cold stone of the tower in a cozy light. Your path is illuminated by their gentle crackling. You take a deep breath, a step, an exhale, and another step. And as you move, your eyes lose focus. You feel like a body, a necromancer's tool, a pleasant calm and curiosity pulling you up and up. The story you read before sleep lingers in your mind, and you swear you smell jasmine flowers as you walk. Wait. You stop and look around the empty tower, sniffing the air, taking in a big, deep breath and exhaling slowly. That is jasmine. You look towards the wall where you smell it. The torch is extinguished and sticking out ever so slightly. Checking to make sure you're alone, you reach up and pull it.